Hi, I'm Richard Wilkinson, and this is my discussion on the Church of God. I chose that because it's the church of my grandparents, and I wanted to learn more about what their beliefs were. I remember going to the church, so when I visited them as a kid, they passed away a few years ago. And so I just wanted to learn a little bit more about them. This was a great opportunity to do that. So the Church of God was started August 19th, 1886, according to their website, in Monroe County, Tennessee. But one of the articles I've read, I believe it was Hudson, said was started in 1902. And the disparity there is the website starts at when Richard Green Sperling and his friends created the Christian Union, which then later in 1902 becomes the Church of God. They started with the New Testament as their rule of faith, each person having equal rights and privileges to interpret the Bible. And then under their first general overseer, A.J. Tomlinson, in 1906, they really start organizing and creating this church. He creates the International General Assembly. They send missionaries to the Bahamas, publish a church magazine, a periodical. Tomlinson helps formulate the doctrine of the Church of God. And Hunter, in his article, discusses that. Now the church has 7 million members in 178 nations and territories. And so it's very much a missionary church. They go out and try to bring converts in. It is a Pentecostal church believing in the gifts of the Spirit, like on the day of Pentecost. But doesn't follow it's Protestant, but doesn't follow a specific Protestant leader like John Calvin or Martin Luther. It believes in justification by faith, priesthood of believers, authority of the Bible, religious freedom, separation of church and state, like most Protestant churches do. They have 5 foundational beliefs: the inerrancy and infallibility of the Bible, the virgin birth and deity of Christ, the atoning sacrifice of Christ's death for sin, the literal resurrection of the body, and that Christ will come again on earth in a bodily form. They are an evangelical church, which they define as that they affirm the primary doctrines revealed in the scriptures, and that's a definition from their website. And they follow the statement of faith of the National Association of Evangelicals. They push education a lot. They have built Lee University here in America. They founded the Pentecostal Theological Seminary in early 1900s. They also built schools all over the world. They believe in benevolence. They have outreaches for children, counseling, outreaches in prisons, hospitals, various other organizations. They have a declaration of faith that states their main faith principles, very orthodox, pretty much what their 5 foundational principles are. One thing that struck me was some of the similarities, not just in the doctrine, but how they apply that doctrine to everyday life with my own church, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And so they talk about the belief that we have to watch what we read, what we listen to, what we watch, because that affects how we think and how we act. We need to be making sure that we think and act in Christian ways. And they also emphasize the need to act modestly in how we approach people, be humble, be examples of Christ. So one thing that I learned from doing this is just the similarities between the different churches, the Church of God, my religion, other religions like the Seventh-day Adventist Church that I've had some association with through friends, and just how similar some of the beliefs are. I found that very interesting. For better understanding, more understanding of this, you can look at Hudson and Robinson's articles that are in the citations. Thank you for listening, and have a great day.